everyone, and welcome to this D&D Beyond Dev update. I am Mellie Doucette. I'm not Joe Star. It has been a while since I've seen you all, but I am the community manager here at Phantom Tabletop, and I'm super duper excited to be back with you all. If it is your first time joining us, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. If you're new and watching live, say hi in chats. Folks can say hello. What are you watching here? D&D Beyond is the official digital toolset that makes playing D&D easier than ever. And this dev update, what the heck is that? It's our weekly check-in to talk about what is new to D&D Beyond and what is coming soon or coming in the future, not necessarily soon, to D&D Beyond. So the first 10 minutes or so, we're going to walk through our roadmap, and then I'm going to answer a few questions from chat. So you can go ahead and ask those throughout the show in the chat by prefacing the word question on your question. No symbol in front of that word question, just question followed by your question. I'll answer as many of those as I can. It'll just be me on the show today, so don't ask me too many hard questions because I might not know the answer, but I'll do the best I can. But let's talk about that roadmap. Here we go. Alrighty, what we have going on right now. I don't know if y'all have heard about this little tiny thing. It is called Critical Role. You might have heard about it. You might have heard of this Amazon show called The Legend of Vox Machina. You might have heard of, the live show on Thursdays, But Call of the Netherdeep is an adventure set in Wild Mountain. That's going to be available for pre-order right now. That is coming out March 15th. And as Joe Star likes to say, it's all about Matt Mercer's Nethers. Who knows if that's actually true? You can go ahead and read the summary of that on D&D Beyond right now to find out if that's actually true, and you can pre-order it there right now as well. There will be pre-order bonuses for that as always, which come out when the book is released. Those are things like an extra digital dice set, some pre-order frames, backdrops, all of those fun little things. It should be a really fun adventure. So definitely go ahead and check that out. And as well, available for pre-order, we have Mordenkainen Presents Monsters of the Multiverse, and that is coming out May 17th. So that's the other book that you can pre-order right now on D&D Beyond in our marketplace. Go and check both those books out. Both really, really exciting books. Mordenkainen Presents, of course, it's a source book. It's going to be full of lots of stuff that you can use in your games, whether you are playing in the Forgotten Realms or in Wild Mount or in your own world. You'll be able to use tons of content in that book. Let's see what else we have coming, or what else we have right now. We have February subscriber perks. Every month we've got perks for our subscribers, whether you are a hero tier subscriber or a master tier subscriber. You get some perks, just little bonus things on top of the normal things you get for your subscription. So in this case, we've got character sheet backdrops, which are based on some of the art you can find on the physical rules expansion gift set for Dungeons and Dragons that came out this past holiday season. That art isn't anywhere else on D&D Beyond. It's just on these backdrops, so it's kind of special. And those February perks are just for February, which is almost over. So if you want to get those perks, you will want to subscribe before the month ends. So you have a little bit more time over the weekend here. Definitely check those out. On to some things that have been updated recently. There's been a fix for dark vision. Those of you who have had characters that are like, I'm a Gloomstalker and I have this item that gives me bonuses to dark vision, and maybe I also have I'm a drow, and you have all of these things that just bring your dark vision to just incredible levels. You may have noticed that the stacking of all of those things doesn't always add up the way it should. There's been fixes applied to dark vision, and that unintentional ways that things would stack improperly, that has been fixed by the team, and I'm super duper happy to see that because I know I've seen people report that for quite a while, and it's just been one of those things that's been in the backlog, and the team was able to get to it. So, super duper excited about that. You can read more in our changelog on dndbeyond.com. You can check that out. We then have a couple of things from our friends over at Critical Role. Again, you may have heard of Critical Role. We have our Blood Hunter errata. They sent us some updates for the Blood Hunter class, which is the original class that Matt Mercer made. And there's many changes to that, which are all summarized over on our forums. You can find that on our D&D Beyond forums in our news and announcements section. But the biggest change for those of you who are fans of the Blood Hunter is that now, instead of the Blood Hunter class being an intelligence-based class, you can choose if you want to be intelligence-based or wisdom based, which is a pretty big decision. There's not any other class in the game that lets you pick which ability score you want to use for like all of your core abilities. So it's pretty cool. And our team on the Lore Keeper, specifically Jay Johnny, worked really, really hard to implement that into our system on D&D Beyond. So worked really, really hard to get that to work. So go and check that out. It's pretty fun, and you can definitely make some interesting blood hunters in a lot of different interesting ways. So check that out. As well, we have just implemented this morning subclass changes for the Way of the Cobalt Soul Monk and the Oath of the Open Sea Paladin. The Way of the Cobalt Soul was just some text changes. There's some kind of clarifying text, and character sheet snippets were updated. The Oath of the Open Sea, there are some new spells on that, and there has been some updated trade text. Again, you can find that errata all on our news and announcements section of our forums. And again, thanks to Jay Johnny from the Lore Keepers team who did all of those updates for us, and a Critical Role for sending us those updates so we can give them to you all. We love being able to provide those updates to our players. So check all of those things out. Super fun. That's what we have right now. But look, we have a big list of things that are coming. Oh my goodness, everybody. We have a digital dice sale, which is starting tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow we have a sale on all of our digital dice. All digital dice are going to be reduced to $4.99, including all of the packs. So, like, our blacksmith dice pack that comes with like I think 6 different sets of dice. Those are gonna be reduced. Everything's reduced to $4.99. It's also gonna be your very last chance to get 2 dice sets, which are gonna be retired. So the Mythic dice set, which is the one that has kind of the Medusa face on it and turns to stone when you roll a 20, and the Archmage dice set, which is that pink magical dice set. Those are both being retired at the end of the sale. So it's your last chance to get those two. And last but not least, definitely not least, in this sale, we are releasing a brand new dice set, which is one of my favorite dice sets. I have been waiting for it to be revealed. It is the Elder Heart dice set, and I get to show it to you right now. Will, please show them. My, it's a beautiful druidy, rangery, earthy, naturey dice set. It is everything I have wanted because I play a lot of nature-based characters. Again, if you've been watching Legends of Vox Machina and you've been like, man, Keyleth is just kicking butt and taking names, and I would like to just make my own Keyleth, these are the perfect dice for you. And again, these are going to be coming out tomorrow in this dice sale. You'll be able to get your very own. This is the Elder Heart dice set, and look at that on a 20. They bloom, they blossom, and then you have this just amazing glow effect. Cannot wait for those to come out. I've been waiting so long because I love naturey dice sets. They're so great. So I hope you're all excited for that as well coming up. So again, that dice sale starts tomorrow, and the sale's going to end on March the 6th. So take advantage of that sale if you are missing any of those digital dice, because again, everything's reduced to $4.99. And Mythic and Archmage, they're not going to be available after March the 6th. They'll just be gone unless you've already purchased them. So other things we have going on the My Characters page. This is like that main page that you go to. It has all of those characters on it, and you've got your 862 barbarians and your 300 sorcerers, and maybe that's just me, but as players, we want to be able to go and look at that page and have a way to like interact with it that is going to be way more beneficial for our gameplay. And it's an area of the site that we get tons of feedback on as to what it should look like, how we should be able to interact with it. Uh, Folders, question mark, exclamation point, angry face. And changes are definitely coming. We've heard tons of that feedback. So that's all being worked on by the team. Really looking forward to a lot of stuff like that. Mobile app updates are incoming in the next week or so. We have some quality of life stuff coming in. So, the ability to enable and disable inspiration directly on the mobile app. For iOS users, you haven't been able to delete characters directly in the app. That is coming to you, which I know is very exciting because, if you don't have a subscription and you can only make 6 characters, you make 6 on the mobile app and then you have to jump onto a browser to delete. You don't have to do that anymore, so you can continue making your character. Uh, Handling the equipping of containers, putting custom items into containers in the mobile app, and editing characters and XP and levels with a shortcut on the mobile app. So all of those updates are coming in the next week or so. So look forward to that. We also have last month we started doing a forum AMA and Ask Me Anything, just for another way for all of our users to be able to interact with and ask questions for from our team members because like, the dev update is at one time of day once a week, which we have an international community, and we have folks who can't come to this whether they've got work or they're sleeping or any other number of things. So we've got another one coming up. Our first one was with Faith Elizabeth Lilly from the Lore Keepers team, and our next one is going to be with Jared Wasden. It's going to be on March the 3rd. And so check out the forums. We're going to probably post a notice about it on Monday, and then on March the 3rd, you're going to be able to start posting questions, and Jared will be answering as many as he can kind of throughout a bit of an 8-hour-ish span of time, but you'll be able to post questions for a full 24 hours. So you're going to be able to get those questions in, even if he's not going to be awake at the exact time that you are. So if you've got questions, definitely hang on to those, which ties into the next item, which is accessibility changes, because Jared is one of the team members who is really heading up accessibility changes at D&D Beyond. So if this is something that you're passionate about and you have questions about, that AMA is absolutely something you should consider heading on over and getting some questions asked, think about them, get them locked and loaded. The team has been working really closely with accessibility consultants and advocates to flag accessibility issues on D&D Beyond for the team to prioritize for fixes, and the team has been working on those fixes in response to those flags. We'll be sharing more as that work continues, but again, I'm going to highlight Jared Waston, big part of this movement, and so if you've got questions for him, absolutely get them into that AMA next week on March the 3rd. Finally, we got game data listing updates. This is under the rules when we're looking up, monsters, spells, and magic items. I think that, it's something that we hear from you all a lot is that search and all of that, listing stuff, it's not always ideal, it's not the best. Um, so some fairly substantial changes are coming to make that much easier to navigate to exactly what you're looking for. We'll share more details as we get closer to that. And finally, everybody's favorite thing on here, the generic feature system, which is that big rock for 2022. That's like boons and dark gifts, supernatural gifts, building systems, to make all of those things easier in the future. There are ways to do all of these things as quick fixes, and people do that all the time. People implement these things as feats, they put them in as magic items. There's lots of ways to do it that are effective, but they're not quite correct. And they definitely wouldn't work in the long term. And the team is working really, really hard to make sure that they do this in the correct way and a way that can solve problems down the road. So this is a really, really huge one. And I am personally extremely excited about it, but it is a big rock. And as we get closer and closer to this becoming, a reality that you can all begin to access, we will absolutely be sharing more and more and more.